How broken is spellcrafting in Oblivion? Back in 2011, one of the many reasons for people calling Skyrim a downgrade from Oblivion was the removal of spellcrafting and an overall more simplified magic system. You could definitely argue that spellcrafting was super OP, but it was also just a really fun system to mess with. Spell chaining and spell stacking are two ways to make insanely powerful spells, and I have two basic examples to demonstrate. The only requirements are being a member of the Mages Guild or upgrading the Frostcrag Spire, giving you access to spellcrafting. And for these examples, I have 100 Restoration, which is easy to spam, and 50 Destruction. The 50 Destruction requirement is so that we have access to the Weakness to Magic spell. This, as well as the other weakness spells like Weakness to Fire, are the key to spell stacking. Weakness spells can stack off of themselves, so we can make a spell with fire damage, weakness to fire, and followed by weakness to magic. The order of effects is important, but the durations and magnitudes you can mess with. Every subsequent cast on a target will overwrite and amplify the weaknesses and continually increase your damage to the target. This is very magicka intensive, so how do we balance the magicka requirement? With spell chaining. Spell chaining essentially gives you unlimited magicka up to a certain level for as long as you maintain the chain. It's a little confusing, so lock in. Craft a spell starting with Fortify Intelligence 100 and then Fortify Magicka 100, and set the durations to whatever you can afford to cast. We'll go with 15. Follow the chain with Drain Magicka 3 for a longer duration, and Drain Intelligence 100 for 1 second. This is our chain starter. As long as you have the magicka to cast this once, you can continually cast it and your magicka won't fall below a theoretical max of about 500 depending on your base intelligence and willpower. It may appear to be falling, but by inspecting your character, it will show you that your maximum magicka is increasing every cast, while your current magicka stays around the same level, so it's only getting lower relative to your max. You can add effects to this spell as long as it's not another Fortify attribute spell. The chain will expire if you let the Fortify spells run out, and it causes our magicka to crash to negative, prevent us from casting again for a while. If this happens, you can just wait in game for an hour or so and it will come back. This could effectively be used for a continuous healing spell and or continuous damage spells. Combine this with the spell stacking I mentioned before for basically an infinite stacking damage spell that heals you along the way. It's stupidly broken. It makes you practically unkillable, but I think it's cool that the system allows you to do this. The math behind it is hard as hell to explain in a concise way, and I'm sure it's not making perfect sense. If you're interested in the small details, I highly recommend checking the unofficial Elder Scrolls wiki page on spellcrafting to read how it all works.